What up, what up, what up?
Yo.
Station. Man, I am happy to be here with you fine young gentlemen today. Man, this is one that Robbie's been dreading.
No, I've been dying to do this one, Dylan. You've been dreading it. What are you talking about, brother?
Man,
maybe my whole life was changed this week watching these movies. You don't know.
Dude, that would be awesome.
I can tell from your tone backstage. I don't think it was, but we'll find
Everyone
out.
loves a clown.
I'm sure. Well, let's see. We'll see what he's got to say. But we're here tonight to review Rob Zombie's freaking Firefly trilogy, House of a Thousand Corpses, his debut film that jumped around to a few different companies before it was put out, but then he came out with Devil's Rejects, and that is a huge hit for him. That's probably one of his biggest hits, I'd say. And then recently he had done Three from Hell, which I do enjoy, but I do have some things to say. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think, though. But this is one, man, like, since I've, this is one that me and my girl have watched so much since I've met her. This is, like, one of her favorites, too. And it's always been one of my favorites, so it's, like, a guilty pleasure of ours. I have so much fun with this series, though. Like, every time I watch it, I can just watch all three. Like, they're pretty quick to bang through, you know what I mean? Like, you can sit down, like, if you have an afternoon to yourself, you can just bang these three, like, bang a trilogy out, you know?
That's arguable.
No, man, I'm telling you.
The third one,
I've watched these
the
all
third
in
one
one
takes
night,
some
bro.
patience. The third one takes some patience.
I mean, I guess, but it has some funny stuff. It's a bit too late, though. I wish that if they were going to do that, that should have been like the fourth film. Man, I needed a third film with more Captain Spaulding.
Right.
Or like a solo film with Captain Spaulding. Because he is just, Sid Haig is so...
He was on death's door when he made the third one.
Yeah, for sure. If you're new, you guys can hit that like and subscribe, and we're gonna jump into House of a Thousand Corpses. Robbie, what year did House of a Thousand Corpses come out?
It finally released in 2003 because, like you said, it had bounced around.
Yeah,
but it is 2003 when it was released.
It bounced around for a little bit. What Rob Zombie said, made some comment about, what was it, Universal or something?
So
They
Universal had it at first. They got
Yeah.
rid of it because they were like, this is too gnarly. It's going to get an NC-17. We're not going to even mess with this, right?
Yeah.
So then they shunted it away to MGM.
Mhm.
MGM was going to do it. Then apparently,
Shouldn't
Rob
be-
Zombie, when he was on MTV, was talking to Ben
Yeah.
Affleck, and they were like, well, Universal didn't want it because they thought it was morally questionable. And he goes, well, what about MGM? And he goes, well, I guess they don't have any morals. And then
Yeah.
it caused a controversy. And then
Oh,
they refused to
Yep.
release it. And then finally, like, oh, and it was he bought the rights back
Yep.
from Universal
yeah.
to get it released. And I remember it was a legend. Rob Zombie has made this movie. It is done. It is taking us back to it's the scariest
Yeah.
movie ever, and they don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
release it. And it was a big deal. I
I
remember that
remember
very
when it
vividly.
came out, like straight. I remember.
I cannot tell you
that
how
was-
excited I was. This was supposed to be
Yeah.
like my first like true gnarly horror movie
And
experience.
then the name of it too, just you're like, oh my god, this is gonna be gnarly. I remember renting it day one at Blockbuster. My mom, I begged my mom to go out and get it, and they watched it too. So that's how I know it had a lot of hype for them to want it. Like, have heard about it like day one, because obviously that was his directorial debut. But for them, they thought it was a little too much for them. But honestly, I never thought it. Like, there's a lot darker films. I think it was like when I first watched it, it hit a lot different than it does now. But it's just I'm so used to it, I guess. But so
Well, that was
Sure.
2003, so that was way before Saw and all that.
Right.
Yeah,
This was an
and
influential. It was
What was it?
influential.
Hostel wasn't until like 06.
Mhm.
Hostel's like
Yeah.
2005 or something, I think, right? Saw's what,
Um,
2004, maybe the same year, if I remember. It's either 03
Yeah.
or 04 for Saw.
Yeah, you can kind of say this kind of
Right.
started that whole ball rolling with that type of torture.
Saw's
porn.
2004. Saw's
So, I'll say straight up, man, House of a Thousand Corpses is my favorite of the three. I know most people always say Devil's Rejects, but House is just, I love it, man. Freaking Sid Haig, I wish he was in it a little bit more. I think, freaking Bill Moseley is so good. I love some of those, those split scenes where it looks like it's shot on like a old ass 70s film, and that, which is actually shit that he like filmed at his house, like on like an old ass camcorder, like because they just ran out of money after Universal dropped them. But I just feel like this movie has so many cool things. It's got the cool house. It's got the fucked up family. I know Robbie always would, compare it to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I know it definitely was influenced by it, but I think it definitely has a bit of its own thing going on. I love that it's based on Halloween. So it makes it a really good Halloween flick to watch. Who is it? Oh, me and Tugan were talking. Karen Black plays the head mother. She's an iconic actress from Trilogy of Terror, and that's a good one, man. You've seen Trilogy of Terror, Robbie? I know Scarpad has. That's a good one.
It's too bad she didn't stick around for the second one.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that.
Dude, I just learned that today, like a couple hours ago. I always thought it was the same actress for the two movies.
I don't know what happened with that. They do end up, gutting her off in the second one. So maybe she didn't want to come back because she didn't want to get killed
Well,
off.
the actress in the second one did an okay job. I would like to see Karen Black.
Yeah, I think my girl likes her better. I'd say I like Karen Black the best, but they both do good. The second one goes a little bit more over the top, I feel like, especially like when she's got those face-to-faces with the sheriff and she's like licking her lips, and to me, I'm like, that's just a little too much. But man, this has some no, I'm thinking of Devil's Rejects, but this movie just I feel like the way it's cinematically shot is just straight up Rob Zombie's alley. That he was doing those music videos, so he finally got to do his dream. And I love, he's a horror fan like us, man. got famous being a musician and ended up doing his dream project. And I love it, man. I think it came out pretty damn good, man. Robbie, dude, I'm gonna go to you second though, bro, and just you gotta tell me what you think, man. Let's hear it. I know you've changed over the years. Because when's the last time you watched this?
Oh, when it first came out.
That was the last time?
Yeah, in the movie theaters. I never watched it again. Now, let me tell you. Okay, so I'm really pumped for this movie. I'm a horror fan, right? But I am just now. This is the year that I'm starting to explore and discover people like Fulci and Argento, and I'm really starting to dive into Romero beyond just zombie films, right? So, and I'm also at this time snobby Robbie. Okay, right? Like I am that guy that's like, if I don't like it, it sucks, and if you like it, there's something wrong with you. I'm that guy. Like most of the internet today. That's what I was like back then. I'm glad the internet wasn't really as big. That being said, when I first watched it, Brooks was talking to me. He was like, I remember watching that with you. And we were all excited. You'd heard these. I liked Rob Zombie's music. I liked White Zombie. I loved those music videos. I liked horror. I was all down for this fucking movie. And I watched it, and I thought it was the biggest piece of shit I'd ever seen. I hated it. I hated it so much. I was like,
really?
This was an hour and a half long Rob Zombie music video that was a remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's what I said, right? Now, at that time, I didn't truly have a good appreciation of, say, Wes Craven, because I knew Scream and I knew Nightmare on Elm Street and I knew Serpent in the Rainbow and People Under Stairs, but I didn't know 70s Wes Craven. I didn't know Last House on the Left yet. I hadn't had that visceral experience, or Hills Have Eyes, right? That was to come. At this point in my life, I hated Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, right? So I just thought that this was kind of like that. Anyway, I never went back. I watched Devil's Rejects, hated that too. That's been my experience with any Rob Zombie film. I haven't watched like Lords of Salem or what is it, 31 or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, I watched this. I kind of liked it. I liked it. I had fun watching House of a Thousand Corpses.
Dude, hell yeah. Dude, the intro's sick though, isn't it? Like,
it feels...
And then the music, like...
It feels like... I know you're excited, but you gotta let me go. I feel like now I'm much more of a Tobe Hooper fan, right? And like to the point where like I was really hurt when my friends didn't like Funhouse, right? Dylan had to come on and kind of save the day. But I'm getting those kind of Tobe Hooper vibes. I'm getting Funhouse vibes. I'm getting Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I'm getting the Canon film stuff, right? So I appreciate it. I like the style. It's not a perfect film. It's got some ups and downs, but all together, I think it's well structured, well paced, good effects. He does use every goddamn music video trick he's ever learned in this one movie. And that gets obnoxious. But now, for 2003, looking back at where horror was and how soft horror actually kind of is in the oddies, we get focused in on this torture porn. But I've been doing these top 5 lists on Rockin' Robbie Live, and the horror movies in the aughts, like I just did 2010, bruh, they suck in 2010. Like there's not like hardly anything good. So for this movie in 2003, in retrospect, I actually really had a lot of fun with this movie. I love the cinematography. I love the different styles that are approaching it. Bill Moseley as Otis blows my fucking mind in this movie. I love him. I love all the shit in the bottom with Dr. Satan and his fucking like, I don't know, like Del Toro fucking Resident Evil fucking dude that's down there with them. Like, I love all that shit. At the time, I hated it, but I really, really dig it now. So I'm just going to say I liked it. I thought it was a very solid movie. Not perfect, but actually really solid and definitely something that I would love to watch again. Dude. Still don't like Sherry Moon Zombie, but she's actually tolerable in this movie.
Yeah, so. She's the best in Devil's Rejects. That's when she gets.
She's gotten raves, but a little of her goes a long way.
Right.
Dude, that's fucking.
So I was rather impressed, brother. I'm just gonna say that.
Let me just say, I love how you kind of throw us off, Rob. You always try to hide the set of what you're actually feeling.
I don't even
and surprise us with it because you were putting off some negative vibes. I was picking.
You should
up,
play poker with me,
Vern.
That's why I don't even want to ask him because I want like my reaction because I know they like to hear, even if it's bad, you know.
Right. I never try to say anything in the chats, beforehand. I just, But yeah, no, I was very, very happy watching
That's
this movie. I liked it a lot. I feel like now, having had more of an appreciation of 70s Wes Craven and Tobe Hooper in the 70s and the 80s,
Yeah.
like it really helps.
I
Like
love
honestly,
that Funhouse
like
reference.
yeah, I got a lot of Funhouse and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 vibes from this, and like when we last talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I think I was coming around on it. Now I love it even more. I think when I met Bill Moseley, like I was just so awestruck that I will like everything he's in now, 100%. But he was awesome in this film, so he's great.
So good, man. So
And fucking goddamn Dwight from The Office and Chris Hardwick, like
Chris
what?
Hardwick, yeah.
I forgot
Yeah.
both of them were in this movie, man. But I like the whole shtick, and Captain Spaulding is great. I love how they use him just enough in this movie to have that effect, man.
Hell yeah. He's so good, man.
We'll let someone else go.
Fucking iconic. I love it. Someone said it earlier too. Motherfucker got blood on my best clown suit.
Right.
Yeah, I love that bit.
Then like right before they cut, he's like,
oh, and a great
"Fuck
ending.
you
Perfect
too."
ending. Perfect ending too. So
Dude, a perfect intro, perfect ending. So fucking good. For us, I every time, man. They do the robbery, and then because you start off perfect with fucking Captain Spaulding, and then you just blowing some dude's head off, and then go right into. I love that Rob Zombie House of a Thousand Corpses song. I fucking love it.
Too.
So that shit gets me like right into it every fucking time. Because I'm like, I don't get sick of it. I'm like, holy shit, dude! Like Captain Spaulding is so fucking good, man. And then you get the music, like I fucking turn it up every goddamn time and just like get amped, bro. I love it.
I like the music too. I really do.
Mm.
I like this film.
And then some of the scenes where it's like pouring fucking rain, you know what I mean? Like he adds a little different element with that, and I like that. I never thought about the Funhouse though, man. I really like that reference. That's a good one, man. Vern, my brother, bro, what did you think of this, man? Because was this your first time watching all three of these?
No.
Okay.
I watched this when it came out. I feel like I was kind of not similar to Robbie as far as like what I was into at the time, but I didn't love it like when it came out. I remember being like, I don't know, maybe I just didn't get it. Maybe it was too like rough for me. And then when Devil's Rejects came out, spoiler alert, I loved that shit when it came out. Like loved it. Watched it a million times. Went back, rediscovered House of a Thousand Corpses, found an appreciation for it, and really, like, I remember telling people like, "Oh, that one's even better." But this is, I had mentioned earlier how I always back and forth on films. Like for me, I always compare it to Attack of the Clones. I'll watch Attack of the Clones sometimes and be like, that was the biggest hunk of shit I've ever seen. And then sometimes I'm just so into it. It's like, how did I ever not like this? I don't care if he hates sand. I hate sand too. You know what I mean? But I love this film. You know, it's a great one, man. Every performance is fire as fuck. Robbie already mentioned Spaulding is amazing. Moseley amazing. Scarpad mentioned like this is the right amount of Sherry Moon. You know, she's not overly annoying in this one, I don't think. And it's actually, it's one of those like she's become so iconic that like she did kind of create this little character that is a horror icon, even though it's a little annoying. Like that laugh is iconic as hell.
There's not many like women villains like her that you know have done multiple movies too.
As far as the comparison to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's a movie that I always say like for me, like 50% of that movie sucks. Like Texas Chainsaw, like I can't. The acting is so god awful, but by the end of every time I watch that movie, I'm like, okay, this is fucking amazing. Like it's the feel and the vibe of it. This is clearly influenced by that, and even the end where everything gets weird in Texas Chainsaw and they bring out the grandpa. That to me, like this is his Dr. Satan is his version of that, and the set pieces, the settings for the whole film, but specifically for the Dr. Satan stuff. Which Rob Zombie says like they took as much budget for the whole film and damn near like took that amount and then they received a bunch more just to make the set pieces.
Yeah, apparently he tanked the ending of the film on purpose, right? And like rushed and made a bad ending so that they would give him a bigger budget to have more of an impactful ending. Yeah. Clever.
Yeah, it looks amazing. The Dr. Satan stuff is great. Kind of glad they didn't bring it back for Devil's Rejects, but Dylan, you mentioned the cinematography. It is fire. Just that opening scene where it's panning down from the top of a Spaulding's joint down to the dude feeding his dog. All that. Issues with the film. it's like he has no interest, and maybe it's not even a bad thing. He doesn't care about the suspense. He doesn't want there to be any mystery whether or not these are killers. He's got Spaulding killing people in the opening scene. They show Sherry Moon, and you might be like, oh, is she bad? Are they in danger because they're with her? And then they cut to a scene with, you just got to kill them. If you see people and you don't like them, you got to kill them. So he does the same thing in Halloween, where like he takes the mystery away from things, but that's just kind of his style. But I think it's great, man. It's one of my favorite horror films of the 2000s for sure.
Hell yeah. Scarpad. So what did you think of it, my man?
I liked it a lot. I mean, I would say it's, Rob Zombie has definitely made a career of homaging. He did a lot of homages, and this is clearly an homage to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the music in the movie is fantastic, and it's really the only film we get his music as he decided to shift the rest of it over to like classic rock for the other two films. The casting is fantastic. Everybody, and the nice thing I like about this movie is everybody gets a chance to do something. Even the victims, Chris Hardwick, Rainn Wilson is good. Michael J. Pollard, who's always in those movies in the 70s. Was it Michael J. Pollard? No, I'm not thinking Clint Howard. No, Michael J. Pollard in the first one, Clint Howard's later. It was good to see him. I think he did kind of make it like you didn't know if Spaulding was a villain or not, because in the beginning he's justifiably shooting people that are breaking into his establishment.
Right, but he doesn't call the cops or anything, and he just
that's the dude that's in Bonnie and Clyde. Oh my goodness, I didn't even realize that.
That was in Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, Michael J. Pollard and Mary. Don't forget Mary in Star Trek. But yeah, I liked it a lot, and I liked how he put those 16 millimeter inserts in the film in between the killings and whatnot. That gave it a very 70-ish throwback. So I really enjoyed that part of it. The only thing I didn't like, and the only place I think I will knock it a little bit, even though I think the movie is fantastic, is I am going to knock the Dr. Satan stuff. Now, I realize he sets that up in the beginning, but it did seem kind of tacked on to me. It did seem like they maybe thought, well, gee, we don't have a quite big enough ending. Let's go for broke here. Let's get all this in. But it was a bit odd with the rest of the movie. I mean, these guys at the end were obviously cultists helping Satan. And like Vern says, it's never mentioned again. It's never brought up in any of the other two movies. It's never brought up when they go back to find the house of 1,000 corpses, which, by the way, 30 feet away, there's a massive oil pit with living experimental corpses and Dr. Mengele type doctors in there. So to me, that.
Well, they didn't even find all 1,000 corpses. They only said there were like 75 bodies found, right? So they didn't go far enough, I guess.
Right. I guess they didn't go quite far enough. And what do these guys do? I mean, those guys do the every day by day thing. Do they go out and get their own lunches? Who feeds these people down there? Maybe I'm going a little bit too nuts with that. It seemed a little silly to me. That's the only part of the film I had a little bit of trouble with, although I think it's cool.
It does disjoint the film though, and it does feel tacked on, like you said. But I like it because it's just like
it was really cool.
It's so bizarre,
right?
Like what and I like the idea that there's some kind of a pact or deal, and it's Halloween, and they're sacrificing some to them, and then they take some for themselves.
Yeah.
There's there's a supernatural element to the first one that I really like.
But it's very loosely. I don't think it's established well enough, I guess, is my problem with it. Plus the girl at the end, basically wits the guy there, the great looking villain, by just basically getting him to chop down I hate that. Getting him to chop down a girder, and that knocks the entire thing on his head. That was a little bit lame.
I was watching the maniacal cinephile doing his thing with stitched together pictures, and when they show Dr. Satan, it cuts to him and he's like, "Oh my God, is this what free healthcare looks like?"
But yeah, I mean, Zombie's intention was to kind of give us a 2000s version of the 70s films. I think he did a phenomenal job in every aspect. He killed it, and everybody was good in it. You know, as I said, and some veterans in it. I really enjoyed it. For me, it's well, we'll probably say later how we rate the films. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic movie. Very
Well,
good.
do you want to do like what Robbie does on PCP with these franchises and just rate them as we go?
Yeah,
So that way
yeah.
we're fresh. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So we should just rate it real quick. You know?
Can I just add in there a little spiel? Like,
Oh, definitely.
as far as like something I don't like about the film is there's no connection to the final girl at the end. You're like, which one was she? Was she the one whose dad was after her?
Yes.
Or was she the one that was like a total bitch the whole time?
The one that we're set up to
Yeah.
actually, the one at least for me that I relate to immediately is fucking Rainn Wilson,
Right.
and he's the first one to go, Fish Boy.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. There's
And
no
don't
real
forget-
likable characters other than Rainn Wilson and maybe Captain Spaulding. But you don't necessarily need them in films, but it would help if this final girl
Yeah.
was
Well, one
I
thing
also think-
in all three of these films, you never give a shit about the heroes.
right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think at all.
Right.
Like, really.
Yeah, I forgot that Wayne Goggins is in this too, playing the sheriff, the deputy.
He's hilarious.
He was great in this.
And that shot that they hold forever, that
They
and
held
to-
before he shot him. Yeah.
almost to a point, it's almost obnoxious, but I kind of applaud that. That was actually a cool moment.
Right. It's like 15 seconds. I think I counted it
That's
last
the
time.
one moment of building tension.
Right, right.
Yeah. Now the only thing
He had to
is,
hold the shot for 15 seconds to fucking do it. Now we know why he doesn't like to build tension.
Right.
now the only thing remind me, did either of those two, the cop or the deputy, did they ever call in what happened? I guess they just go missing. They come looking for him and find him there, find the cars there.
I don't think we ever saw them
Yeah.
like call it in or nothing.
No.
So, you guys want to get into the rating?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Scarpad, since you went last, you want to start it off, and anyone in the chat who was able to watch House of a Thousand Corpses, throw your rating.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 5.
4.5. Hell
4.5
yeah.
out of 5. Yep.
I'll go with him. I'll join the Scarpad train. I'll do 4.5. I was wavering between a 4.25. I was a 4.25 before we started talking, but you guys got me hyped up. So 4.5.
I'll go a 4. 4. Very solid film, man. Good, solid directorial debut from someone who loves horror. He's trying to do his homages, make something of his own with it, something bizarre, something truly weird, something I cannot wait to see how it's explored. Like when I rewatched it, it revitalized my interest in this franchise, and I was really, really impressed. I'll go 4.
What about you, big guy, Mr. Dillon?
Man, I'm debating from like a freaking 4 or 5 and a 5, man. Just because I rewatch it so much. It's a 4 or 5 all day, man. It's close. I mean, I know it's not like perfect, but dude, it's just, like I watch it so much. I'm gonna go 4 or 5 though. 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting
highly
too.
rewatchable. Great soundtrack. Great cinematography. Great start. Great start for a lot of these actors that were a lot younger back then. Like obviously, like you said, the guy from The Office, Chris Hardwick, who did The Talking Dead for a long time, who's big, mainly known for that nowadays. Sherry Moon started that. The comeback of Bill Moseley, even though he probably never left, honestly. But it just kind of brought him back.
It was a
into
big
the
renaissance for
mainstream.
him, bro. Like I'm sure
it was huge, and it brought him.
when I met
definitely
him
into the
last
mainstream.
year, I was there and I got a Chop Top picture signed, but a lot of people were there and it was Otis. Like that's what they know him as, right?
Hell yeah.
So that's super, super cool.
He's one of my favorite characters in all of horror, man. He's the shit.
He's
Well,
good.
everyone-
He's great in this film, and he's more like sickly looking
Right.
in this film, and he's more like crazy. I think with the shit he's saying, where he's like, "I don't read no funny
Yeah.
books.
He's
This ain't no
got that
Walt
white
Disney
face.
shit."
Right.
Like, it's fucking
Yeah, some of the
love
stuff
it,
he
man.
came out with was written really well.
Yeah.
And every one of these movies kind of attacked a different genre. I mean, this was definitely horror, and the other ones attacked different genres too, which I think was a very interesting way to go.
Mhm.
Seems like we like it.
Hell yeah. So we got 4 from Two Gun, 4 from Evan, and 4 from Gary, and a station from John Holshoe. What's up, man? So let's get into Devil's Rejects. Obviously the sequel, the follow-up, after House of a Thousand had some pretty good success, I'd say, if not pretty decent success in the theater. Definitely on the VHS and
Yeah, it
the
started
home
building.
video.
It started building that cult following, man.
Yeah, it got, dude. This was a big one for me growing
Yeah,
up.
cable, and home video.
Yeah, this was huge. I mean, Devil's Rejects, and especially House of a Thousand was huge growing up. So we get Rejects in 05, and this shit is just, it doesn't have the like the sacrificial like side to it with Dr. Satan. They chalk that, and it just goes straight gnarly, and it cuts from maybe a day after the ending of the first movie, and the cops are coming and raiding their house, and it just starts it off with a bang, and it goes in strong the entire movie. And like that scene in the what is it, the freaking little hotel bedroom, that is one of the craziest scenes, and I know they said that was one of the hardest scenes to film. It was just so awkward. But Bill Mosley,
And Priscilla
he doesn't have
Barnes
the
from
white
Three's
face
Company.
he doesn't have the white face anymore. He's got white hair and a gray beard, but he is just straight fucking savage, as he was in the first one. But man, there's just, and he turns it up all the way on this one, man. And just, I feel like this wasn't like meant to be like a horror film. This almost feels like it could really happen. You know what I mean? This shit is fucking brutal, man. And you find out that Captain Spaulding has been in on it the whole time with them. It's kind of leading people there, and that he's the father to Baby, and I'm guessing maybe the stepfather to Otis. I don't think he's blood to Otis. I'm not sure. I don't think
Otis is described in like when you read about it online, he's described as the adoptive brother of the family, which is odd to me.
okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I always just assumed he was Spaulding's kid, but he does have a different last name, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Him and Baby
And-
have separate names too.
And Spaulding has an African American brother with a whole different clan. So who knows what's going on there?
Right.
But this is one where it kind of
That's right. Ken Foree's in this, which is fucking awesome.
Oh hell yeah!
He's Lando.
You get instead of like the family, you get kind of like, it tightens down into like a trio of them, and then the couple of the family members are part of it on the side, like the giant, and then the mom gets caught up, so then she's
Tiny.
gone.
They kill the other brother quick. They don't even bring Robert Hughes back to do that, which is crazy to me.
Oh, that's
And
a
he
different
was-
actor. The
and-
grandpa
and-
never shows up either. We never mentioned the
Yeah.
grandpa, but he's phenomenal, I think. in
I'm assuming he
House of
choked on
Thousand.
whatever whipped cream shit he was eating or whatever.
Yeah, man, the grandpa was great. How the fuck I forget him?
Right.
And
You get
Tiny,
William Forsythe as the sheriff in this, and he is fucking nuts, man. Like when he's talking to himself in the mirror, just
He's
like,
the
"Come on,
movie."
motherfucker!" Like he's going
William
for it, bro.
Forsythe
Man, I love.
is the Devil's Rejects.
Oh, dude, he's so fucking good. I mean, just nailing the fucking I mean, he's the fucking. He turns into the bad guy in this, and you're almost rooting for the rejects in this.
He was at Scarefest last year too. I guess they had done like a Devil's Rejects reunion because the other guy, like the younger guy from the banjo group, was there, and what's her name from Halloween, who is in this movie too. She was the friend in Halloween who got killed by Mike Myers dressed as the ghost. She's in this film. I think she's the one that Spaulding messes with the kid. Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh man, there's some funny ass shit though, and it's like with the guy with the chicken with the hills have eyes. He's like,
Oh,
"You telling
God.
me I would cut a chicken's head off, stick my dick in it, and go God?" Whatever. He's like, and that shit is. He's like,
But I don't support no
He's
chicken
like that.
fucking.
I ain't no
dude,
chicken fucker. You call me a fucking chicken fucker.
Fucking Michael
Yeah.
Berryman is hilarious in that role. He's like, "Did you hear him, boss? He called me a chicken fucker. I never fuck no chicken."
So
We
funny.
ain't fucking buying no chickens from you ever again.
That dude, he's the most disturbing looking dude ever. Like, is there any kind of makeup, or is that just what that dude looks like?
him.
He's
Who,
got
Michael
like a
Berryman?
skin. He's
Right.
he's
He's
got like a
from-
skin disease, but he is like the sweetest, most erudite, intellectual
Yeah,
dude.
brilliant.
Like I met him too, man. But he's awesome, and everybody just has nice things to say about him.
Tutti
But
fucking
Perfect for the genre.
fruity. Tutti fucking fruity.
Mhm.
Man, I love this film though too, man. Like, freaking, you get some of the lines. I don't know if Bill Moseley says it in the first one, but you know, after he kills the guys, he's like, you know, I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's bidding or his work. It's just
Yeah,
like, man, and
that's
he
amazing.
fucking believes it, dude. He is just nuts.
Wait, pulls his hair out of his face to say the line and everything.
Yeah, dude,
That-
I'll tell you one of my favorites is when Baby's got the two girls by herself, and then they try and like pull a fast one on her, and she's got the gun, and one of the girls gets the gun, and they pull it,
There's
and
a knife.
she's like, "Stupid fucking bitch." She's like, "There ain't no bullets in it." She's like, "It's all fucking mind power." And I like, God damn, like that's a deep line, man. Like,
Mhm.
dude, I love that. I love this film. There's so many great scenes. Like you said, you got Foray, you got I forget what's his name from the OG Hills Have Eyes. You get some good ones, man. And then you get Danny Trejo. Yeah, man, I fucking
Diamond
love
Dallas Page.
this one feels like you just feel them sweat. You could just feel the sweat the entire time. It's just hot the entire time this movie's going. I love the cinematography on this. It's different than House. You know, everything is different in this, but it's just ramped up, man. And I like it. I like that they're different. It's not the same thing. And I know a lot of people do say this is their favorite, but still House is my favorite. But they are neck and neck. You know, I fucking adore House and what it does. I'm gonna start with Scarpad this time. What did you think about the Devil's Rejects?
I love the Devil's Rejects. I always thought it was a better film in a way than House, but it's, as you said, very comparable. It's a whole different genre. This is definitely his take on like a 70s grindhouse exploitation, revenge crime spree movie. He moves away from the horror. You still get the intense violence and the killing, but now you've gone into the kidnapping. You've gone into the mayhem part of it. You know, in a lot of movies, they would have dragged out the whole scene where they had Priscilla Barnes and Joffrey Lewis in the hotel. This movie dispenses of that pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
I mean, they kill these people pretty, intensely, and then move on.
Mhm.
And you're thinking, well, where can you go from here? Where you go from here is taking the William Forsythe character who starts off, and you have empathy with him because of everything these fucked up people did, and they killed his brother in the other movie, and turns it on its ear to where you almost are rooting for the Devil's Rejects to get over on this guy at the end, because he is, as brutal as they were, he matched them step for step. All the stuff where he's torturing the rejects was phenomenal. And how Forsythe doesn't get a nomination for a role like what he did there, you know, it shows you how, unfortunately, horror has no respect.
Yeah.
Because he is phenomenal.
Great.
There's scenes in this movie when he's torturing them that are just gut wrenching. And also, I forgot to mention probably the best scene in the movie when the girl runs out of the hotel and becomes fucking meat cake. Against that truck.
Yeah.
That is a fucking awesome scene.
You know what drives me nuts though? Her hands are free. Just take the fucking mask off. Like her hands aren't bound.
They do that in all the movies. In the third movie, you see the fucking same thing happen.
Freaking out too much.
But you almost, you know, you got to kind of remember these guys are villains. They all turn out to be villains in the end. They dispense with William Forsythe maybe a little bit quicker than I would have liked. I really would have liked to see that taken up a little bit, but it just, and really, if you think about it, this is still his homage to Texas Chainsaw 2, which had the Dennis Hopper role basically doing the same thing. Not quite. He went a little bizarre. He didn't go as intense as William Forsythe, but it was similar. So yeah, Devil's Rejects to me is a great film, and it's interesting. You could watch that as a standalone movie. That's the interesting part of
Yeah.
that. With the exception of the third one, you could watch either of those movies without seeing the other one, and really not miss a beat. And that to me is an amazing testimony to just how good both of those are. So yeah, I Devil's Rejects is to me a fantastic movie. I loved it.
Yeah.
And it gets, I think when adding I love Rob Zombie. I would like to see his music, but I think going for this movie to go with classic rock made more sense.
Hell yeah.
It really fit.
Gave it more of that like Western vibe for some of the stuff, I love too when Forsythe's having like kind of like seeing his brother and they're talking. He's like, "Man, I'm towing the line on this one, man. I'm keeping it straight," and he just totally. Like he said that, and then like it's like, what happened, man? Because you're going 180,
right?
And he's like, kill them all.
It's supposed to be once he knows that they killed his brother.
Yeah,
that's when he cracks. That's kind of my issue with his character. He seems like crazy and hellbent on killing them all from the get-go.
Yeah,
like I do appreciate his arc throughout the film, but it's like it's more of an arc that I know that they were trying to give him an arc. I'll give him credit for it, even though he doesn't necessarily have it.
So what did you think of it overall?
I love it, man. This is one of my favorites. It's like a masterpiece, in my opinion. It's iconic scene piled on top of iconic scene. Robbie, wipe that smirk off your face. I see it. It's one of my. I can see it. It's subtle, but it was there.
I'm enjoying hearing you talk, bro.
I'm just playing. It's a great movie, man. It's got so many iconic moments. The bit in when I think of Devil's Rejects, the first thing I think of is the bit, we already mentioned it, but in the motel room, from Baby talking to the old man. I shook Johnny Cash's hand once, and how he just like falls in love with her. They shoot the big tall redheaded guy. Like everything's epic as shit about that. A big accomplishment that he has is that, Scarpad, you said you almost root for the villains. From scene one, I'm rooting for the villains in this, and that's what he's trying to get.
Yeah.
Basically, I look at this as Rob Zombie trying to make a Tarantino film. Like, he's got the Tarantino type dialogue.
Oh yeah.
It's not structurally like a Tarantino film where it's told out of order, but with the dialogue, big time. And as in Pulp Fiction, where he is getting you to root for these shitty people. And for me, it works right away. Like, I love Otis. I love Baby. I love Spaulding in this movie. And I wanted to mention, I mentioned that Charlie, the dude from Dawn of X, or Dawn of X, oh my God, from Dawn of the Dead, he is basically Lando in this movie. And Rob Zombie is 100% aware of what he's doing because he follows the exact same beats that Lando Calrissian has in Empire Strikes Back. When Han shows up at, I'm forgetting the name of it, when Han shows up to Lando's planet, and he's like, "You son of a bitch," Lando's saying to him. He's acting like he's going to have his people take him into custody. It's the same thing that Charlie does in this movie. Then he gets caught up. It's by Vader there. It's by the cop in this one, where he has to turn in his friends. It's either him or them. And then he comes back later on to save them. So I just thought that was funny. Like, he's clearly doing that on purpose. But the chicken fucker is great. Baby becoming the final girl at the end, I think, is clever, because it becomes the whole thing where the villains become the people that you're rooting for, and you're rooting for this cop to get got fairly successfully. And yeah, Sherry Moon is, I would say, I think she's much improved. I think she's way better in this film. He drops all the hacky music video shit. The slides that he has between, like, the Star Wars-esque kind of slides, they work for me. The music is fire. Like, I never even thought of House of a Thousand Corpses as a 70s movie. Like, I don't know if it ever dawned on me that movie was supposed to be in the 70s, because you have all this 90s Rob Zombie music playing over it. The soundtrack for Devil's Rejects is like, it's a little like too mainstream almost. Like, the songs are huge, like fucking Freebird, and just these huge hit songs. but it's fire as hell, and it's so quotable too, man.
Motherfucker took notes. I love it.
I've got a whole
Hell
shitload of
yeah.
notes on this thing, but one of the best lines in any movie ever is, "Hey Hoss, I think I can smell your wife's pussy juice on my gun here." It's like,
Yeah.
that's brilliant. Aren't we fucking funny? Don't you like clowns? Spalding is amazing in this one, man.
That's
Amazing.
that chick he says that to, the mom, that's the girlfriend who gets killed by the ghost in Michael Myers.
Okay.
That's her. I thought you mentioned, is she in the House of 1,000 too?
No, this one. That's what I was
Okay,
talking
okay.
about.
For when you mentioned it there, I was like, never
sorry.
mind. Bern.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead, Bern. My
No,
bad.
no, you're good. You're good. I had one other thing written down here. Oh, I might have just lost it though. It's fire. I'll just say that. Like, I love the shit out of this movie. It's, to me, I would say it's better. It's his best movie, in my opinion. And it's barely a horror. It's a horror movie in the same way that Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer is a horror movie.
Yeah.
It becomes horror because it's just so violent. Like, where else would you put this?
It's more of an outlaw movie.
Right.
Yeah,
Like a Bonnie and Clyde, even a Western kind of bit. Little Young Guns thrown in, even maybe.
Right.
in the 70s, and a ton of those movies where you rooted for the villains.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Well, the moral ambiguity
Right.
that was allowed in American cinema at that time, right? So,
Mhm.
all right. So I guess I'll go here, right? I'll go next. Okay, so when I first watched House of a Thousand Corpses, I hated it, and then Devil's Rejects I never watched, right? And then me and some friends around like 2006, we go to like a haunted house, a local one, like like an hour and a half away. And we go there, and they always have guests every year. I met Doug Bradley there one year, but this year Bill Moseley was there. And so I waited in line to meet him with my buddy. I didn't get anything signed, but I just met him, and meeting him was a really cool experience, right? So they were playing Devil's Rejects on the screen in the lobby. And I remember looking at it and being like, yeah, maybe I should check this one out. And I remember watching it and being like, this movie's not that bad. This movie's okay. It's way better than House of a Thousand Corpses. This is probably, and I said this up even after Halloween was released, this is his best film, right? Like, I thought it was his best film. Where in House of a Thousand Corpses, he's going his full-on Tobe Hooper. I think in this one, he's going his full-on Wes Craven. I feel like there's a heavy Wes Craven 70s influence in this one. Last House on the Left, Hills Have Eyes, both movies that involve almost trying to get you on the side of the villains, but having the villains do incredibly heinous things, and then having the people that we should be on their side be the perpetrators of violence at the end, the parents at the end of Last House Left, the family at the end of Hills Have Eyes. Like, that's something that he likes to play with. He even plays with it in Nightmare on Elm Street, where the parents are the ones who kill Freddy Krueger, right? So that's what I think he's trying to do here, but he doesn't quite get there for me, because William Forsythe, to me, is hamming it up way too fucking much in this movie. It doesn't work for me when we have that shift. I think Bill Moseley, I think Sherry Moon Zombie, I think Sid Haig, I think all three of them do amazing jobs in this film. But the film itself, to me, is just okay. I was rather disappointed coming off of this high of rediscovering actually a love for House of a Thousand Corpses and remembering that Devil's Rejects was something I thought was better at the time. I didn't like it near as much. It didn't have as much absurdity. It didn't have that weird mad science kind of attachment to it. I don't like that they dropped all the Dr. Satan and all that shit. I don't like that. That was something that very much appealed to me. I don't like that they just made it mostly an outlaw movie. It's got moments that shine. Sid Haig, every fucking scene he's in shines, right? So good. I love the building up of these characters and actually seeing them as a family unit kind of works for me in this film. But altogether, structurally, it's a little bit long, I think, longer than it should be. William Forsythe, all that shit, like, oh, that's my brother. All that shit was so much bullshit to me. That would bore me. I'd be like, let's get back to the Devil's Rejects. It does try to do some uncomfortable shit with that hotel scene. and they do make some uncomfortable shit. And in 2005, I'm down for that. But at the same time, just overall, the movie doesn't quite work for me because I think it lost an element of style and magic that Rob Zombie had in that first film. That was lost. That was disappointing to me. But I think the film is still okay. I love the Freebird scene at the end. I think that's amazing. Goes a little bit too long. Zack Snyder gets fucking talked about his use of slow-mo. How about goddamn Rob Zombie? So stylistically, I think it's okay. It's trying to do more of the Wes Craven realism bit of the 70s.
Yeah.
But it doesn't match it cinematography or cinematically, nor does it match it narratively or thematically for me. So it's okay. It gets lost in the plot for a while. So I think it's just okay.
That's better than you hating it, which is what I expected.
That's what I used to think when I didn't always love this movie. I used to think it was just okay as well, and I always just raved about House. Because everyone just raved about this, and I was like, it's good, and I grew to love it more over the years.
Yeah.
I think you
I've
can't look
always
at it
had a
as
fascination with House of a Thousand Corpses.
you can't look at it as trying to stay within the same genre because clearly he's not trying to stay within
It's
the
definitely
same genre.
Yeah,
Like,
well, okay. So
like,
if we take my disappointment aside that they took that out, but I structurally have the problem with it. Okay, so they get out of so they're on the run. It's an on the run fugitive movie. That's fine. And in case you didn't realize it, every song is about being on the fucking run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In case you didn't pick up on that.
It was a lot of noise.
So some of the song choices don't work. Like Freebird is on the nose, but it fucking works for me for the 70s, for like Texas or wherever the fuck they are, right?
And that's why you need that slow motion is to get to the jam part.
But okay, so when you go to the hotel scene, what does that ultimately do? Nothing. It's nothing. It's just there to be a jerk off fucking torture scene. Like there's no point to that because then the movie just leaves it in the dust and nothing from that comes to.
Yeah, but think about what you learned about those characters because of that scene.
Well, I already knew that in House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah,
bruh.
but that scene shows you that and there's a similar scene like it in 3 from Hell with Baby going to the pop machine. It's almost like that scene in 2018 Halloween where Michael's just walking through the neighborhood, just killing at random. Like if they find somebody, instead of just stealing a car, they're going to kill 7 people and steal their car. Like they're just, I don't know. It adds that to me. Plus, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's just.
Well, I think plus they took the 2 guys out. He took the 2 guys out to dig up the weapons he had buried in that area a while ago. So there was a little bit of a reason why they stopped at the hotel. They were there to get those weapons. This was just them killing. That's how they killed time while they're waiting to go get their weapons.
But to Robbie's point, he doesn't need those guys to get the weapons. He could have just went out there, but he likes to kill people.
I get that, but in the first movie, and here's the thing is I love Bill Moseley's performance in this, but as far as the way the character is written, we have lost something. We have lost this magical, like, priest of Satan type guy. Like he keeps saying, I am doing the devil's work and all this kind of shit. Even though the movie's called The Devil's Rejects. Well, it's because what the news calls him. That's cool and all, but like there is an element missing to the character to me now where he's just like Henry. He's just somebody who likes to kill. There is no like crazy purpose and fucking ex-Nazi goddamn mad scientist down in the fucking cellar. Like that that was what I loved so much about House of a Thousand Corpses because it did 70s horror, but it did 50s sci-fi horror too. A little bit in there, right? Like, but like, so I don't know. It was something that just there was something lost for me. He's not the same. They are not the same characters.
No,
in this
they're
movie.
not.
No,
they're not.
That's why Scarpad said it perfect. I'd say House of a Thousand Corpses is like its own solo movie because even Otis, he's not like pale white.
You gotta look at it
as
Rob Zombie taking the set of characters that he developed in this first movie, and it says in the second one, inspired by characters from A House of a Thousand Corpses, and moving them along a chessboard to different genres.
Right.
He moved them from horror to revenge flick, crime.
Action.
The only thing that connects them is the
only
brother.
thing that connects them. The only thing that connects them is themselves.
It's kind of like Evil Dead 1 and Evil Dead 2. to where it's just
Kinda,
like
yeah,
that,
kinda,
that, that was his first attempt at making a movie. He had fucking no idea
Yeah.
what he's doing. And
Yep.
he's like, okay, now I've learned what I want to do and
I
maybe
got a little more
kind of how to
money.
do it. And he
Well,
did
it's probably
something completely
because
different.
for Robbie, the best part of he liked the first movie. The best part was the stuff at the end. That's the stuff he liked and made the movie from.
And
For
all
me,
the colors, all the
right.
colors and shit too,
For
right?
me,
Like,
for me, it kind of that's the weakest part of the movie. These guys were sitting down there watching fucking TV in a waiting room. It was silly.
That was weird, but it adds to the mystery of like, what the hell is this place like down there? That these people are sitting there eating cereal, watching TV. And
Oh
I just
my
hate
God.
all the shit with the
It
sheriff.
kind of gives you like
The tiny
Beetlejuice
bit is the
vibes,
most.
but-
That's the most forecast shit where you see Tiny in the beginning,
yeah.
and then you don't see him. So of course he's going to be the Deus.
Millennium Falcon.
Well,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
He does end up walking and killing himself. It was a touch.
I know that
Ken
was
Foree
low
is
down.
great though. Ken Foree is great in the role. I
Oh,
love him
so
and
good.
Sid Haig together. They have a good chemistry. So
Yeah, they do.
Like,
they
like
have
Tiny.
a really good. They have a great
Once
chemistry.
he gave the girl some Fruit Loops. He was nice.
The way he eats that in house without just spilling shit everywhere. Okay, can we clear this up? Because you got one of you just said it. He looks like he just walks into the house and he's going to kill
He
himself,
kills
right?
himself. Right.
Okay, then why right before that did Otis say, "Are you sure? All right, we'll be back
you sure
for
you
you."
won't
Is he
stay?
saying he's going to be back for his body? Maybe that's
No,
what it
he
is.
said
Wait,
we'll be
what are you
back for you,
talking
but
about?
he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that his brother's gonna walk in and just kill himself.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
the
he's
same
like-
person wrote both lines and scenes, so it's like I don't know. It's
they just
something-
really fucking quickly are like, how many people do we need in this movie?
Well, yeah.
Are
But you think about Tiny.
you talking
his-
about when Tiny walks in the
Tiny's whole
house?
world.
Right.
Tiny's whole
Yeah.
world was fire. That's all he knew. So at the end, when these guys taking off, he knew they weren't coming back. He had nothing to live for.
Well,
He
you-
walked in and he killed himself.
You know what I figured? I think is right because when Karen Black talks about Tiny getting set on fire and
Right.
that the father did it, they show flash scenes of the fucking Resident Evil looking guy in the bit in Down with Dr. Satan. They go back and watch it, and when she
Yeah,
mentioned
yeah.
how he got burned, and she talks about her husband doing it, they flash to him
Right.
in that
Dr.
suit
Her
and
husband
like.
could have
I
been
read
he's,
something
like
where
throwing gas on and shit. So
I read something where Dr.
he the
Satan was supposed to
husband?
be the original
Uh-huh.
father, but they cut that.
Right.
Like
Well,
they changed it or
he-
something.
No, the Resident Evil looking guy, not Dr. Satan, the guy that in like the goggles and shit.
His
Oh,
name
yeah,
is
yeah.
Earl, I believe.
Is it?
Yeah, I do believe it's Earl, which makes it.
Fitting.
And that's the other thing is I don't like the fucking mom in this movie. I just don't like it. The
She's
mom.
over the
You
top.
you like Karen Black better?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I do too. I do too.
I'll agree with Robbie too. The cop, he is over the top. He is one note, but I enjoy it. I don't dislike him, but
yeah.
he's definitely over the top. The
plus,
whole
I
time.
love the actor. I loved William first sight.
Man,
I
and
get
then
it.
in
I get it,
Halloween,
for
in the
sure.
first Halloween, like he's like, "You fucking little brat."
Oh,
I
yeah, he's
fucking
the
hate
dad.
you. You know, and you like when he gets tied up and duct tape and cut. Like, I mean, yeah, Rob Zombie, man, he does the thing that the old school, the OG directors that we loved did, like Romero, freaking Cohen, Joe Dante, I mean the list goes on. Freaking the guys that would just kind of reuse a lot of the similar guys. Carpenter would use. If you go back and watch Carpenter's movie, he used Kurt Russell a lot, obviously, but a lot of his side characters are the
Yeah.
same. Like you get Donald
Argento
Pleasance
does
here
that.
and there, you get Tom Atkins here and there, you get you get Adrian Barbeau here and there. There's just I love that these directors kind of keep the their kind of class of actors. Sometimes it might not always benefit, but Rob Zombie has like a group of some fucking awesome weirdos, and
Right.
now he's got who is it? The guy who plays Otis's stepbrother in Three
Yeah.
from Hell. Like he's in 31. He's even got Malcolm McDowell. I mean, Zombie's got a little pull if he's got Malcolm McDowell coming from. He got him for 31 too in the I like that movie, but it's not one of my favorites.
Let's be honest, man. Malcolm McDowell's phone's not ringing a lot. Okay, let's be honest.
I know, but man, he's still dude. That's Clockwork Orange, baby.
No, I
like,
get it. I know who he is.
I
I,
know,
love him, but
I
I'm
know.
just
He-
saying.
he
Let's be
rounds-
honest.
Yeah.
He rounds out the cast with like really cool people. Like
Yeah.
the dude from
Motherfucker
Dawn of the
killed Captain
Dead,
Kirk.
the dude from Hill Has Eye. Like those could have just been random people.
I mean,
but
Ken Foree. That's Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, like
He loves
and
70s horror, bro, and I do too. And
Yeah.
there are elements of this movie that I do think are cool, but overall, it did disappoint me. That's all I'm trying to say.
I think it's
Well,
kind of a
man,
movie that it is one that grows on you over multiple watches because like each scene is so I don't know. It flows so damn nicely, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I
that's what it
never
grew
get
on me.
bored. So like each scene being pretty good, the more you watch it, it's very rewatchable and
Man,
entertaining.
he loves House of a Thousand Corpses. I'll take that, man.
Right.
I'm happy as a motherfucker.
Well, we haven't even gotten to the
Oh,
rating
yeah,
yet.
yeah,
So you don't
let's-
even know.
Rating,
Don't
man.
worry. Don't worry. Don't
That's
Let's
worry.
my
rate it.
favorite, man. That
Rate
one is my favorite. So,
Rate
does
it.
anyone else have anything they want to throw out there before we jump into the rating for this one?
The best Otis line is from House of a Thousand Corpses, and it's when he tells that story. And he's like, "It's like having a devil reach up on you, demons grabbing you by the foot, and says, what does he say? Hello, Miss Molly, or Holy Miss Molly.
Holy
I got a
Miss
live
Molly.
one here," or something like
Holy
that. It's so
Miss
weird.
Molly.
Yeah, Holy Miss Molly. I got a live one here. We lose that element of Otis in this film.
Right. I'll just say we kind of mentioned
And
Tootie
his
fucking
artistic. We don't get any of his artistic side.
Yeah, I thought
you
this
know?
dude's supposed to be an artist. He's making Fish
Right.
Boy. Now he's just killing just for the fuck of
I've
it.
had a mental block. Yeah, Fish Boy is great, but just that Tootie fucking fruity scene, it's so iconic to me, and that's like the epitome of like how can you put that scene with these characters and make it work? Like it really makes them three-dimensional characters and likable.
Hells yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Man, I love the characters in this. I love getting more of these characters that we loved in House of a Thousand Corpses. So I can't hate on that, and I love it for that. I do, I do like the first one better, and I like the supernatural aspects in it, and we don't get that, but this is him kind of doing something a little different, taking that because like we said, it was a cult classic, but it wasn't always. So he wanted to do the movie he did, and dude, for the most part, man, people fucking adore this movie. For the most part, I always thought everyone says they love this one the best. It's his best movie by far. But I know, like, and then a lot of people love Halloween too, like me. But yeah, man. Let's get into the rating. I'll start this sucker off, man. 4.2 for me all day. 4.2. Anyone who watched Devil's Rejects in the chat, throw your rating down below. I'm going to 4.2. Robbie, what do you think, man? Dun 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 dun.
When this bird you cannot change.
Hey, money.
Oh Lord, I can't change. I'm from Alabama. I like a good Leonard Skinner montage.
yeah.
Anyway, I'll go 3. 3.
Oh,
You digs. I think it's an okay movie. Doesn't wow me like House of a Thousand Corpses did. I wish he would have stayed more in his style, just refined that style. But I do appreciate what he did. I understand why this is most people's favorites. It gets into the characters of Otis and Baby and Captain Spaulding. It does a really good. But to be honest with you guys, I was going to rate this probably like 2 or 2.5. But this conversation, it's 3. It's 3. It's 3 right now. 3. And I think that's really fair for how I was not looking forward to tonight, y'all. And overall, I mean, a little bit of a disappointment compared to House of a Thousand Corpses, but overall, it's rewatchable. It's 3. And this world you cannot change.
Vern, what are you thinking? A 3, man. Oh wow, man. And this is the one you love. That.
Yeah, right. And by the way, there's like no way they're gonna survive that inning.
right.
Yeah, all right.
I like
give it
after I
5.
watched it, I was like, I'm sorry, man, I just stepped all over you.
Hey, you're
I was
stepping
like,
on my 5, bro.
I know, man, I know. But I was like, after I watched it, I was like, well, surely 3 from Hell is like a prequel or something.
Oh god. Yeah. I'll give it a 5, man. I think like from this time around watching it and being a little more analytical about it, and like my takeaway is like, God damn, did he improve as with his script? That's the biggest improvement that I saw. And then, as I said earlier, dropping all the hacky shit, you lose the colors. I get that, but it's a different. This isn't a horror movie, like I said. So,
It's not
I love it. It's one of my favorite films. Period. 5 all
Hell
day.
yeah, man. 5, dude. Hell yeah, man. Nice. I was debating on giving it the same as House, but House definitely beats it for me, man. House definitely beats it.
4.2 bullshit.
Man, otherwise it'd be a 4. You know.
Hey, put your fucking pinky up when you
Otherwise, it'd be
say
a
that,
4.
Dylan. 4.2.
Man, suck my twos.
Weak ass fucking rating system.
It makes way more
I'm
sense.
just messing with you,
It just
man.
makes way
I
more
know.
sense.
I
It's a
know.
more sophisticated system over here at DHS.
Hell yeah, we're trying to be sophisticated. We're almost at 1K.
You know,
Scarfat, my man, what do you think?
Trying to figure out why I'm the only one that looks like fucking Moses on this whole goddamn pan. Look at me, man. Fucking white as a sheet.
The Lord has given us these 10 commandments.
What the fuck? This movie aged me. It fucking aged me. I'm going to give it a 4.5. I ain't going to pussy out like you, Dylan. I'm not going to go back on my fucking molds like you did. I think this movie is as good as The House of a Thousand Corpses. It's not going to get a 4.4. It's getting a 4.5 all the way.
hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Nice, man. I've always loved the first one better, so that's why it's got to earn a little bit more because I've since day one. Devils I didn't always really like. I was like kind of medium at it, where I was like, it's okay. I never thought it was terrible.
I'm saving all my wrath for the next
I've grown to love it. I've grown to love it over the years, and I love it as a whole trilogy. Even though I know the ending.
Saving all my wrath.
They come back.
Do you guys know before we move on to 3 from Hell? Like this, I feel like this was a hit right out of the gate, right? Like this was.
I think it was definitely.
Right. Yeah.
It was a hit in the theaters.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And then went nuts on video.
I would say this is his most popular movie. I mean, the Halloween ones are different.
Yeah, that's what
established.
Well, Halloween is the biggest mainstream, but
right.
Yeah, I'd say Devil's Rejects and then the Halloween.
Yeah, I ran a video store back in the 90s for about 10 years when this came out, and this was a huge movie for us on when it came out, and it was a huge movie even before it came out and in the theaters. So it did extremely well. All 3 of these did really well. So
yeah,
nice. That makes sense.
But this next movie, man,
I think we got 2 ratings. We got a 4.0 Tootsie Rolls from Zach and a 3.69 Slips from Two Gun.
Nice.
We should have had a whole shoe on this. I'm curious to see it. I'm not seeing any ratings from whole shoe. But
you would never watch these movies, man.
I know he's not a fan.
Angry, you're too kind.
At least I will be like, let's watch these films. Let me try to see if I can see something. And I appreciate House of a Thousand Corpses. I'm gonna buy House of a Thousand Corpses. Devil's Rejects, I don't know.
It comes out
just get. What do you mean? Just get this, man.
But you reevaluated.
And then you own them on digital, too.
I don't know, man. I'm the guy that didn't even buy X-Men 3 for a while. So, we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
There's definitely some horror fiends out there, man. I just, they gotta find me as well. But I appreciate that.
Y'all got to tell them. The way to help Dylan out is to like every video, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this goddamn shit. Share it and watch it all the way through as much as you can. I know we go long. Just put it on while you're working. Put it on while you're chilling. Just put it on when you ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah. And comment.
Just like a podcast.
Yes, and comment. We don't get near enough comments.
Yeah, they're underrated, but comments help a shitload. Maybe we should ask more questions. But we ask them to hear in the chat, so.
Yeah.
I will say this next movie commits what I feel is my worst cardinal sin when I judge any movie. This movie commits it. I don't know if I can recover from it.
So
I didn't notice a lot of lens. I didn't notice a lot of lens flare here.
A big jump from 2005 to 2019. That's a huge fucking jump, man. And I'd say it was 10 years too late because they really, man, I really want Sid Haig to be in this.
You know they had to rewrite the film, right?
Oh yeah, I know, and it's amazing that it still got made. And it was luckily that they loved
well, they brought this into the 80s,
Richard Brake. They loved Richard Brake from being in 31 because he plays like this kind of crazy fucking clown character, and he's savage, man. He's got like a bat and shit. He goes nuts. So that because I guess they said normally they never would do that. Like he rewrote it and they were like, okay, and they brought it because they got canceled at first. Once Sid Haig wasn't going to be
Well,
in
this
it.
movie's kind of almost a redo of The Devil's Rejects up to a certain point.
Well,
which
I'd
is
say
funny.
It is literally the
obviously a
same
sequel.
goddamn plot.
Which fun
Pretty
if you
much,
turn
yeah.
on the special features, it's Rob Zombie being like, I don't want to do one of these things where you just, hit all the same notes as the previous movie.
They
And it's
literally
hollow.
go to a
It's like,
brothel and get betrayed by the guy that runs the fucking brothel.
right. Bro.
He's
The
just
only
not
thing
brothers
that's different is
with
that they're in
fucking the
Mexico
Midnight
and that
Wolf or
they're in
whatever the
jail,
fuck.
that they actually went to jail. I do love Jeff Daniel Phillips, who is gonna play Herman Munster. Actually, I think he's hilarious as the warden, like just blowing coke, freaking out, and he's banging like all these freaking black chicks.
No, he only
Like-
banged the one girl.
No, man, he had the security one. He had one of his COs,
He did,
too.
yeah.
Let me get this out of the way then. Let me tell you why this movie commits. I can almost not forgive it. This movie commits the major most crime that a lot of these horror franchise movies do. And that is they clearly bring back characters who were fucking killed at the end of the last fucking movie.
Did you see a dead body?
No, hold on. The last fucking movie, the ending was great. This movie invalidates it, okay, to a certain degree. They were clearly shot, and as the movie says, 20 fucking times a piece. There is no way.
No, that's easy to fucking. That
there
could
was
happen.
No way they fucking live from that.
They have
It
Dr.
was almost
Satan.
like
Yeah,
another
Dr.
movie-
Satan came and
Right.
fixed these motherfuckers up, man.
Another movie that did the same fucking thing. They all did in the 80s. The fucking Stepfather. Stepfather, great fucking movie. He was killed at the end of the fucking movie. He comes back to life in Stepfather 2. It's bullshit. And that almost made me not want to watch what proceeded after that because to me, it's a violation of the trust that you have in your audience to not treat them like fucking morons.
This is the first time a movie ever treated you like a moron,
No,
Scarpet?
it isn't. That's why I'm saying this is my violation to me. If this movie it violated my trust.
Do you like comics, Scarphead?
I know.
Which,
No,
by
he's
the way,
right. Like,
Devil's
he's right.
Rejects
That is
would make a great comic.
He's right, though. That's a
you
cardinal
how I
sin
feel.
is to insult the intelligence of the audience.
Fair enough.
Let us be in on the joke. Let us be in on the gag. Drive us along. We're willing. We're here. This is the third fucking movie. We're willing
For sure.
to get into it. But
I wish the movie had never happened. I'll just.
Can
all
I
right,
go
well,
back?
let's
Fuck,
man.
Let's go.
We're running all over it, Dylan.
Let's do it.
Who goes first, Dylan? You go first, Dylan. What do you think?
Man, I enjoy some things. I definitely don't love it. I've watched it a shit ton. I think it has kind of like a cheap feeling to it, so I forgive it. It definitely it feels like it was almost shot in the 70s straight. But there's a lot of things I like about it. I feel like Baby is so over the top, a little bit too much. That might be one of the
It's
big
because
flaws.
Harley
They
Quinn
get
happened.
Deke Wallace in it though, and she does do some cool shit. But like when she's stabbing the chick out front, Otis and Richard Brake are freaking incredible. I love, he's like Public Enemy 1, no, Public Enemy number 1, motherfucker. There's some funny stuff. It definitely feels B type, but man, I love these characters. I welcome Richard Brake. I wish that we had Captain Spaulding because it would make it so much more forgivable. I feel like if we would have got a movie 10 years before, and then if we got this as like the fourth film, I would have forgave it so much more. I still enjoy it. I still like it though. It definitely when they're shooting the guns, CGI blood. It definitely feels the cheapest out of all of them. And I'm not so crazy when they're in the brothel and they got these women and they just don't look that great to me. I mean, I guess it's just so savage down there. I do love the little guy though that Baby is man, you remind me of Tiny. I think he's great. And then the guy who runs the hotel when he's like, man, I'm just the man in the middle of the middle or something. You know what I mean? He's like, I
Lando number
win
2.
this, man. You can't win this. Just go ahead and die already. I think he's funny. Otis is great. Richard Brake is great. I do still like it, man. I do still like it. It's definitely a dip. It loses a little bit without Sid Haig, man, and it is a huge loss without him, man. And I know, but I still do like it.
His stuff is good though. His stuff that is in here is good.
It's
Oh,
too. It was too sad for me. I hate it. I think
Yeah,
it's
man,
almost.
it sucks.
It's
seeing him
almost.
like
It's
that.
almost. It's not quite Game of Death level, but it's almost exploitative. I feel like
It's
I don't
hard
know.
to watch. Like I fucking hate. I wish they didn't even have him in there. It's hard to watch him.
Let him be the one guy who died from 20 fucking bullet wounds. Maybe
Right.
that's a little bit more believable, right, Scarpad?
Right. Well, he wanted
Yeah.
to cut him that check.
He evidently wanted to come back. I mean, it was his decision, and he did.
Right.
I get it. It's
I do not like that. I'll agree with Robbie.
it's like Phantasm 5 shit, man, where you're
Yeah,
like,
it's
what? You
tough.
shouldn't even have done this, man.
Tough.
I don't know, but we're burying the lead right now. Dylan, who you want to go next?
Robbie, you can go.
This movie fucking sucks. This blows. I would rather watch Shaquille O'Neal steal while the fucking goddamn darkness from Legend shows up and just repeatedly punches me in the fucking nuts. I would rather have my cat diarrhea across my goddamn nostrils than ever have to watch this fucking movie again. It doesn't just insult the audience's intelligence. It fucking takes up too much of our goddamn time. This movie is the longest of these three. Why? Sherry Moon Zombie? Okay, is this an audition reel for fucking Harley Quinn? What the fuck are we doing here? It's ridiculous. Even Bill Moseley feels like he's phoning this shit in. He's too old for this shit. That's what I get. I get like a Danny Glover vibe from Lethal Weapon 4 from him in this fucking movie. You know, like, I don't know, man. This dude who they brought in, I haven't watched 31. I don't know. This dude they brought in, like, Midnight Wolf, who gives a fuck? Like, what? You think this guy's as dramatic, as fucking charismatic as Captain Spaulding? No, it's insulting to me. This movie fucking sucked. There was nothing good about this movie, bro. I thought this movie was so fucking bad. Why did Rob Zombie fucking make this movie? I have no goddamn idea. And now I know why nobody fucking trusts him. I know why
Right.
Monsters is not only direct to Netflix, it's direct to fucking Blu-ray. Same goddamn day. Like, what the fuck, man? This movie, I'm sorry. It's insulting. It's terribly written. It literally is cookie cutter Devil's Rejects. 10 years later. What the fuck? Like, it's the same
Without Sid Haig.
goddamn movie. I hate this movie. This movie fucking blows. This may be the worst movie I've watched this year. This movie sucks. Fuck you, Dylan.
There is definitely worse. I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it for the characters, even though they seem old and run down a little bit and sweaty and fat. Vern, what did you think, my man?
I really wish I had got to go first for this one. Because let me just say,
Oh my bad,
this
bro.
movie fucking sucks. I fucking hate this movie. Like, okay, I was really excited when it came out. I bought the 4K, watched it, and I hated it. And I was like, you know, I just watched these other two, and I'm like, who knows, man? You know, I usually say it all the time. I like a movie a lot better the second time. I almost wanted to turn it off. I'm like, what does it matter if I just turn it off with this 50 minutes left? Like, you know what I mean? Are the guys gonna be upset with me? But
I thought
whatever.
the same thing on my first fucking viewing, bro.
It's
I was like, should I
terrible.
just quit? Should I just skip this? I'm like, I knew. Oh,
Like, I agree
bruh.
with you what you're saying. Like Mosley, like he's good because he is Otis and he is Mosley, but he sucks too, even like to a degree. Like the character, like, okay, the actor doesn't feel like he has his heart in it. Like it feels like he knows that this is going poorly. And then the character wise, he's so tame. Baby plays two different characters. She plays Harley Quinn for the first 50 minutes of the movie, and then when they go to Mexico, she just plays Sherry Moon. She completely changes. She drops all of the crazy baby stuff, and that goes away. With the other dude, that Richard Brake, I won't even say anything negative about him because he got thrown into a very difficult
Yeah,
situation.
definitely.
I will say, if you're gonna make someone's catchphrase a howl, you should be like, "Hey, can you howl?" Because he can't. Like, he doesn't do a good like howl, and so that's weird. He's good in 31. And I do think he's a good actor. And I
Yeah,
think
he was good in 31 for sure.
there's
Way better.
two good moments. The one at least I don't know if it's executed nicely, but it's a good idea to bring in that clown and be like, make me laugh and I won't kill you.
Clint
Yeah.
Howard, man.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. The other bit that I actually do think is dope and was executed nicely is when Sherry Moon chases down that chick and she's running. First of all, I might bump it up a point or two when we do the rating just for the slow motion titties flopping around. Slow motion titties, they're great. So we gotta love that.
Not in this context necessarily.
I still enjoyed it 100%. She kills the dude or the lady in front of the old lady.
Bush.
I'm surprised she didn't try to escape on a trampoline.
But then they go down to Mexico, and first of all, I just didn't like that. I didn't like what the story was, where like 30 minutes to get baby out of jail. Then they do the hostage situation, same thing as Devil's Rejects. Then they're on the run. They go to Mexico, and they end up fighting all these Mexican wrestlers in masks, and it's just like it didn't like there was no weight behind it. Like they made it like it was this big dramatic scene when they killed the final bad guy, but it's like, who gives a fuck about that bad guy? There was no connection.
That's the guy from Devil's Rejects though that sells them out.
I get it. He was friends with Danny Trejo, right? Isn't that where it came from? I mean,
that was his son.
I get it, but I still didn't.
Right?
It
was his son.
That was his
son. It was his son. Yeah.
The script.
Who cares though? Yeah, you don't give a goddamn shit.
Revenge for his father.
Right.
You don't give a goddamn
shit. Killed my
man.
papa.
But no, I fucking hate the movie, and there's pretty much no conceivable way that I'd watch it again. I don't think I have the Steelbook.
I got the 4K.
The Steelbook looks fucking awesome, but yeah,
it's rough.
It looks good. It looks real good.
I don't think it's the greatest, man. I just don't think it's the worst, you know.
I will say
the worst of what? These three?
Right. I just enjoy it for the characters, that's all.
I agree with Robbie. I think it's the worst movie that I've watched this year.
Oh man,
it's the worst movie that we
was this your first time watching it, or you had seen it?
Okay, yeah, second time.
You haven't seen that Blumhouse movie Dash Cam? That movie's fucking
no, because we stay away from these fucking things until Dylan's like, let's do Dash Cam.
Scarpad, what did you think? Man, I would never fucking put you through
Love you, Dylan, man. No, I love doing this, man. We can't just like jizz over every movie we do here.
Right.
No, man, I wouldn't expect it.
This movie was pretty bad. I mean, let's get a few of the good things out of the way. There are some good things. The clown was played by Clint Howard. He was very good.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did the clown show up? Why is the clown there? Like, I know that I like the Dr. Satan shit and that comes out of nowhere, but why the fuck does the clown show up? Because nobody's expecting this clown to just show up.
I think it was supposed to be a birthday party. It was a birthday party.
None of them seemed to be like, oh, the clown's here.
Yeah, nobody was like, oh shit, the clown.
Yeah. So the clown's there. It was good to see Dee Wallace. She was the prison woman.
I didn't even know that until afterwards because I'd never, like, that was, I guess, a great performance from her. I forgot. Dee Wallace.
Yeah.
That weird bit where they're just licking tongues at each other.
Just from the beginning, as I said, with the movie, I think it should have been made, as everybody says, because those characters should have died. It took away the impact of that ending, which I thought was a good 70s type of ending. I think this was his attempt to do a Western at the end with the whole Mexico stuff.
Right.
But yeah, that hostage scene is just a boring remake of the hotel that goes nowhere. It's terrible. Where were the cops now? Can a woman run out of the fucking house naked and fucking flap around with her titties and no one's around? No one's around. The grandma was there. The grandmother was good. She's just sitting there puffing on a cigarette, and she's stabbing her and says, "Hi, Grandma."
And she just waves like, I don't know what the
fuck. Waves like, "Don't kill me." Yeah, but the rest of the movie was bad. Now, I will say the ending, I kind of give it elevated, but the ending was okay because it had the guy from Sons of Anarchy and Mayans as the son. I kind of like him as an actor. Killing the luchadors, it was all right, but didn't redeem the rest of the movie. So yeah, it was poor. And then the ending, they just fucking walk away, the camera blurs, and that's the fucking end. Now this movie cost $3 million to make, $3 million to make, and made $2 million in the theater. So after that,
kill them all.
After that, some studio gave fucking Zombie $40 million to make the fucking monsters. They should
They
fucking
gave
know
him
better.
$40 million?
That movie cost $40 million.
No.
It looks like it has much
They-
better production.
I would say that-
quality
Is
than
it not
this.
going to be in black and white, man?
It should have been, but the studio wouldn't let them do that. I think $35 million went to his
Hopefully
wife.
the DVD, hopefully the Blu-ray has both.
But
The
yeah,
Blu-ray's got to have
it's
both.
I bet.
it's a poor movie. It's no reason to be made. I guess it's watchable, to a certain degree, but it's definitely the weakest of the three, and not a very good movie. So yeah, it's I like seeing the actors again, but it was overall it's.
I was never a big Monsters man.
The only thing
Maybe-
they did do right, the only thing I think they did do right a little bit is they jumped this ahead obviously to the 80s, the mid 80s, because they were in jail. These guys sat there for fucking 10 years. I
Yeah,
think they tried to do that whole media thing where they made them media sensations and everybody
yeah,
loved
like
them.
the
That
like
part of it, I
Marilyn
thought they did okay because it was
Charlie
the,
man.
the 2000s they're kind of commenting on. But overall, a weak, poor movie that shouldn't have been made.
Definitely.
Yeah,
To me, I always think these characters died at the end of the second one.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
better off. Headcanon that. I didn't even. I wish they would have died at the end of this one because they walked away, and I'm like, you could tell like Rob Zombie's probably thinking like, okay, I'm not gonna make the mistake of killing him at the end in case I want to do another one. It's like, bro,
there's no way.
yeah,
There's no way. No fucking way.
I would actually be up for it just to like give me some redemption, like go full fledged. I think
Yeah.
Otis is my biggest disappointment in the film because he's one of my favorite characters in all of cinema, and for him to like feel like he got his nuts snipped off and just not to be as hardcore, he doesn't seem like the same guy that would tell you he's the devil here
Yeah,
to do
he
the
seems
devil's
a
work.
little-
Well, he did
more
say that
laid
10 years
back.
in jail took a lot out of him. So
I mean, fair enough. And I noticed like there's even a point in the film where they know that Babies is acting so fucking weird that they have to comment on it. They're like, she's changed. She's gotten really fucking
Well,
wacky.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah,
they
and-
had to say that because or else it gives some kind of reason for the why she's acting like that.
well, and the other thing is they don't respect the audience because they said right in the beginning, okay, these guys got shot 20 fucking times each, not a bullet hole, a wound on visible on any of these fuckers through the whole movie. So
Right.
fuck you, Rob Zombie.
I mean, as soon as you know the movie's coming out, you just have to let that go. Like, you can't go
I
to the
never-
movie and then get upset that they're alive. Like, ah, fuck. It's like, you know, that's why you bought the ticket.
Characters that
Yeah.
clearly die.
I
They
feel
should
you.
have made another one. I'm sorry. But it's
so
cool.
you guys want to get into the rating? Because I don't think you guys have anything else to say.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Let's do it.
Robbie, let's start it off because I know you're not gonna. You probably got it down. And anyone in the chat who watched 3 from Hell, let's get your rating down in the chat below, y'all.
You know, I saw that Fabled down there, thought I was going to give it 0. It would be hard for me to give a movie a 0. I'll give this a half of a slip because congratulations, you made a fucking movie. Cool. This movie sucks. Never watch it. I'll never watch this movie again. No, fuck this movie.
Oh, God.
Half. I'm done.
I'm
That's it.
going with you,
I know.
dude. Yeah, because
We're
I won't
with
give it a 0 either. I'll give it a half for the Sherry Moon killing the guy and the idea of the clown being having to perform under that pressure. I really dislike this movie a lot. Like I fucking hate. I'm even mad that I bought it, but I need the 3 of them, I suppose.
This
Man,
movie makes me
You
feel
know
like
it's
Jelani
got a-
on
know
a
it
third
has
of the movies we
5.4
review.
out of 10.
Dude, it's got 58% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
That's shocking to me.
I know.
As people like Dylan that are like, bruh, I just like these characters.
I
Well,
I'm just
I
happy to
mean-
be here. That's the equivalent of I'm just happy to be here.
Some people though they love Full Moon. They love B movies. So like
This movie makes fucking Beyond Reanimator look like goddamn Suspiria.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Baby Oopsie was a better movie than this.
I believe it.
Hey,
I
I
believe
Baby
swear
it.
to fucking
Oopsie
God,
is
Baby
good.
Oopsie was
Totally
better.
believe
Baby Oopsie is good.
Go watch it this week. And they got Baby Oopsie has come out with 2 new chapters.
Chapter 2, baby.
Releasing weekly, so make sure you watch it.
Vern. So Vern, you said a half.
I'll
as
go
well?
a half as well, yeah.
Scarpad, what are you thinking?
I'm making it 1 because I thought the ending, it was a one.
It
There's
ended.
an ending.
Because
All right, well,
I like luchadors.
So me and Vern are like a half because you made a movie, and Scarpaz like one because you made a movie and it had an ending.
Well, no,
love
I had it. I like Mexican luchadores, so that's okay.
Hey,
Nice.
I'm gonna give it 2. Sid Haig's last movie, even though it sucks seeing him like that. Frickin' Richard Brake trying to learn how to howl.
Yeah, I know.
Frickin' Otis, fat and banging ugly Mexican strippers, and luchadors getting shot up at the end. And they
I
made
would
a
bang
movie.
2 out of 3 of them, by the way, just so you know. But depending on the night, it might be 3 of 3 if it was at the
I would
same
not miss
time.
none of them. I would not miss none of them.
Brother.
Until you're in that situation, Dylan, never fucking discount somebody else's foot in the storm.
Yeah.
So that concludes the
Yeah.
review for Rob Zombie's
We're sex
Firefly
positive here,
trilogy.
man. We don't hate on anybody's baby oopsie.
Oh yeah. So let's see. This is our first 69 rating. Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it flop a 2. So I'd say for the first one we'd go 4.69, baby. House of a Thousand Corpses gets an average score of 4.69. I'd say Devil's Rejects average score of 4.69. And
That math's
3
off.
from Hell. No, man, it's right.
Yeah, that math's off, but it's okay.
Okay,
I'll
4.369. Okay,
Ah!
there we go. All right, man, it was a glitch.
It happens.
3 from Hell. We'll go 1.369.
That math's really wrong too, but
Man,
I think
dude,
that's
you guys
a
gave it
point
half.
69 on
I
that
gave it
one.
2, and he gave it
I
a
think
1.
I think Zach is
So-
right. A point 69, man.
So you gave it 1.369 Mexican
No.
hookers. You gave it.
I'm giving it a 1.69 now.
Dylan
That's
gave
fine.
it a 2. It bumped it up.
I gave it a 2. Scarpag gave it a 1. We got another 2.
There's no
from
way that
someone.
3 scores are lower than the average.
And it's a
I'm just
5
saying that's the
right there.
simplest fucking math you can do. There's
69,
no way 3 out of 4
baby.
scores are below the average.
Well, it depends on what that fourth score is, brother.
So, you guys have any? Who's ready for show and tell?
I'm ready, man. Let me go first.
You got
You
too
ready?
much.
I think you guys are going to kill me tonight. So let me just, I got some things I want to show off. So Blu-ray wise, I got this only one Blu-ray. I'm only on one a week. That's my new goal. But Ghoulies 1 and 2 double feature,
Nice.
which has been re-released by Umbrella.
Oh, sweet.
So with special features and everything. So very excited because I didn't have to pay $80 for this. It was like 20. So that was awesome. The good people over at Frazetta Girls reached out to us. Frank Frazetta's granddaughter, Sarah Frazetta, runs that company. She reached out. So we hooked up and she sent us these Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer exclusive virgin variants with artwork from Frank Frazetta. There's issue number 1.
That's awesome.
Issue number 2. Look at that shit.
He's like the baddest dude ever. He was.
Yeah, look at that. So, yeah, his granddaughter fucking emailed me. So that was really cool.
That's awesome, man.
I picked this up finally. This is from TKO. It's Tales of Terror. This has really great short horror stories and dark sci-fi stories from people like Liana Kangas, Joe Corallo, Paul Azaceta, Michael Marisi, Alex Packnadell, almost everybody I mentioned, friends of the show. So that's really cool. You should check that out. I bought this today. I've been waiting to get this for a long time, but this is He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and She-Ra, the animated series guide. It's like an encyclopedia. It goes along with my Motu collection. I have a lot of this stuff.
Nice.
Every episode, they have a synopsis, interesting facts, storyboards, design work. It's a really cool book if you're a Masters of the Universe fan. So I got that. And I'm super pumped for Barry Windsor Smith, who won an Eisner Award. And out of all the Eisner Awards, most of them were bullshit, the winners. Ron V got fucked again. Anyway, but I figured it's finally a good time to pick up Monsters. This one for Barry Windsor Smith. And this was a book that Barry Windsor Smith has worked on for like 30 years. And look at that artwork, y'all. Like it is insane. The ink work here is amazing. I cannot wait to dive into this. It was like one of the best books of the year.
I was gonna say I've heard nothing but amazing stuff about it.
Yeah, so I've been really digging into some Barry Windsor Smith stuff. So now it is finally time, because once this wins the Eisner, which it did, like people start paying attention more. So I was like, now's the time to get it. So hell yeah, that's what I got.
Dude. That's awesome.
That's sick, dude. Hell yeah.
I do have one thing I can show real quick.
Sick.
This I've been showing you guys these coming from Tiny and Substack. It's like a set that he has.
Oh, what is that?
This came a couple months ago. Something's Killing the Children variant.
Nice.
They're all by the same artist with the same color scheme. That's his Department of Truth. That I got it like 2 months ago. This I got last month. That's Robbie knows what it's called. Nightmare Country. And
Nightmare Country.
This just came yesterday.
Cool.
That's from, I believe it's called The Closet.
That's The Closet?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's awesome, bro.
Yeah. So
Is
it's
that are those
a pretty
foil-
cool little
foil
set.
covers?
There's going to be 2 more. Yeah, they're foils. They're
cool.
all just black and gold, as you can see.
Pretty
But
nice.
it's going to be a pretty cool little set once they all come in. Two left.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, The Closet. That's a great book.
Scarpet,
Yeah,
man.
I
I know you got some good.
Yeah, it's just because this was
I
like
got
everything, all the
too.
sale stuff came in all the week. You want to go or you want me to go?
No. I hit me by accident. You, and I'll go last because I got.
All right, well, try to get this as quick as possible. I ordered they had the Shout Factory sale, so I've been eyeing these
No boy.
Universal Blu-ray pre-code horror movies, and the 6 volumes out, and each one has 4 movies each. Things like Black Castle, Thing That Wouldn't Die, Shadow the Cat.
That's
So I
cool,
picked
man.
these up.
Those are some of my
and,
favorite, man. Some of my favorites ever, man. I'm envious.
I tell you, I watched Doctor.
I know,
I
me
don't think
too.
it's on here, but I watched Doctor Cyclops this morning.
Have you opened any of them?
I have not. I have to start watching, but it's like man-made monster.
They come with
Captain
special
Women.
features or anything?
Are these like
I
40s?
I didn't even
Yeah,
know.
most
about those.
these are all pretty much for the most part new 2K scans. They do have commentaries on all the discs, so they are loaded with special features. Man-made monster.
There are multiple discs in there.
So, yeah, I think there's 4 discs in each one. So
Damn.
that's a very nice set. So I picked that up from Shout. I also got this from Screen Factory. This is a British movie called Dr. Blood's Coffin from the 60s. This is like one of the first science fiction movies ever made, Conquest of Space. This is a George Pal film, and this is an imprint from down in Australia, but it's a all-region Blu-ray, and it's like one of the first 1950s sci-fi films.
Nice.
Because I love luchadores, I picked this up. This is the Aztec Aztec mummy collection, Spanish mummy and wrestlers and robots. How could you go wrong?
You couldn't.
Jaws 2, because Jaws is coming out in the theater again.
It is?
Yeah, it is.
I just rewatched this, even though I didn't I didn't watch it on Blu-ray, but this movie is kind of poor, but I'm a complete.
Man, I love Jaws too. The first is obviously the best, but
Right. I got a bunch of arrows, starting with this one with the Black Cat. This is a Fulci version.
Nice.
And
I saw that
never-
on Mad Sale this week. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen this film, but I've seen bits of it, and it looks fucking awesome. So I picked that up.
Nice.
I've seen this one, Spider Baby, with Lon Chaney. I think this is his last or next to last film.
Do you remember that song, Spider Baby?
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
Oh me, spin a web for me, Spider Baby.
The Mutilator.
The Mutilator. One of the best horror titles. I just
You remember
love
that? You remember that song? The Mutilator, come down and take away your knives.
Another one I've never seen, but I want to, the Switchblade Sisters.
What is it called? Sorry. Oh, Switchblade Sisters.
Sisters, yeah.
I had Scissor Sisters.
Do you remember that song? Switchblade Sisters, come on and scissor with me tonight.
I saw this. This came out from Synapse. The Demons 1 and 2.
Oh, I've
Oh.
almost bought that like 5 times, but now I have Shudder, so I don't necessarily need it. 'Cause
And
You remember that song?
So this has new 4K scans of both movies, and the uncut and the American versions on there.
I'm curious when you watch that, how I want to know how it looks, man, because I've almost pulled the trigger. on
The
that.
understanding is it looks really good. The Brain from Planet Arose or Rouse or whatever, 1958 movie.
The Brain from Planet
Oh,
Rose.
Another
Or
era. I was kind of lukewarm on this. I want to see if my opinion has changed on this movie since I watched it. The Kenneth Branagh version of Frankenstein with
Oh, the De Niro one.
Robert De Niro as Frankenstein.
I actually like that film. Yeah,
I need to go back and watch it.
I would sing the Frankie Baby song, but that was written for Frank Sinatra.
I
just read that book.
The George Clooney out of sight.
Yeah, I want to get
Blu-ray.
that one, man.
I love that movie.
I love that
Kino
movie.
Lorber.
Fuck, I don't
And
know if I've
Kino
seen it.
Lorber is starting to put out a ton of 4K Blu-rays. So
That's
Is
a
that
good
4K?
one, man.
this is 4K.
Totally underrated.
Steven Soderbergh, baby, based on an Elmore Leonard novel.
Dude, so good.
It's one of
I
Clooney's
love-
best.
I
It
love
is
Clooney.
Lopez's best, I think,
Yeah.
outside of the
definitely.
cell.
This dude just recently passed away, so I figured I'd get out one of his better movies, James Caan Rollerball. And this
Oh,
is being
nice.
put out. This is being put out by MGM with a slip, which is kind of nice.
That's a sick cover.
Love me some James Caan, man. Godfather, silent movie, Way of the Gun. Come on, yo.
Another Kino Lorber set that just came out, season 2 of Night Gallery.
Oh, wow. You got yours? Mine's at like August 5th on Amazon. That one should be
Yes.
like way bigger than season 1.
Yeah, it's got 32 audio commentaries. It's got a really good documentary and just how screwed up this series was in syndication. So that's worth watching.
So how many discs does that one have? Because that has 32 episodes on season 2, you said?
32 commentaries. I don't think it's
Oh.
32 episodes, probably like 20. One of my favorite Mario Bava
That's
films, The
six.
Planet of the Vampires.
I fucking
Isn't that
love that
Bava?
movie, man.
Love
Oh my
Isn't that
goodness.
Bava?
60s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
I
that's
swear,
really
James Wan said that's like what he based Malignant off of or something. I don't
That's
know. Or
some
one of his
bullshit, but
fa-
that's a good movie,
one of
man.
his
Yeah,
fa-
really
or
good
one of
movie.
his favorite films. I forget.
not a horror movie, but 1955's Marty with Ernest Borgnine. Good flick.
Nice.
And I'll finally get in for video. Olive Films, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Nice.
Nice. Kevin
Blu-ray.
McCarthy. Fuck
I've never
yeah,
watched
man.
that one. I just for the first time watched the 70s version and loved it.
I love the
Yeah, the-
original the best, man. That's that
Really?
This was the
Really?
best. The 70s was very good, though. But
This is an
One of the
excellent
best.
film.
And
God,
then
I
the
loved
other
it.
thing, I got a couple figures. I got the
Oh boy.
multiverse
Couple broken figures.
Man Bat.
Nice.
Damn.
Hey. Mr. Man Bat, come on and
Man.
And
He
For
looks good,
me.
though, man.
Killer Croc.
Kill the
Nice.
croc.
Good
Very
choice.
nice, dude.
Yeah.
Those are really, really
Those
detailed.
are crazy.
Come on and
that'd
crocodile
be it.
for me.
That'll be it.
Go ahead, Dylan.
Hell yeah. Good shit.
Hells yeah, dude. Hells yeah. So I got obviously the 3-pack of House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell.
You gonna show us your shirt, by the way?
Oh yeah.
'Cause I
Man,
kinda need to see it.
Let's see.
Oh, that's a great shirt.
Nice. Little story, real quickly. My brother was at a rest stop and he was taking a piss, and he looked over. The dude right next to him was Captain Spaulding. He goes, "Are you fucking Captain Spaulding?" And he goes, "Fucking right, brother." And he was just like, "Couldn't have been any cooler." And they just pissed together and walked away. But he said he couldn't have been any fucking cooler about it. Sorry, I just thought of that.
God. That's legendary. Also, next week's movie, we will be doing Stephen King's The Night Flyer.
Fuck yeah.
Can't wait to talk about this one. It's one of my favorites. Always been legendary. Always, any freaking movie store I went into and saw this VHS cover, DVD cover, it just always drew to me.
I don't see it streaming anywhere, but I see a few people have it just up on YouTube. So
Yeah, if not, I mean, I got you if you need help watching it. This is literally probably one of my favorite figures, if not my favorite figure. and this thing is hard to get to. The freaking
Oh,
Captain
wow.
Spaulding NECA
That's awesome.
Did
Well,
I stutter, bitch?
when did they put that out?
with a little bag of chicken. This is old. This is older, man. I think it says 2003, I think, or 2003 or 2016. 2016, I think it came out.
This is
I was
way different years, bro.
I was gifted this though from one of my buddies.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude, I like literally, man, love this fucking.
Yeah, I talked to one of the guys I know that's a distributor for Mego, and Mego is thinking about putting out Captain Spaulding's.
Yeah, oh man,
Let's
that'd
hope they
be
do.
sick. Because this is a hard one to get, man. And they don't have many. They have like now kind of like a kitty. They did like through a Dr. Satan, Otis, and a Captain Spaulding figure, but they're not really articulate. They're kind of like cartoony.
I'm surprised they didn't do all three of them. Or somebody didn't.
Yeah, I don't think they did. Baby, I want to say they might have. I don't think so though. Also, my main man Scarpad sent me a William Shatner movie.
Oh
Kingdom
man,
of the Spiders.
Yeah, we gotta do that, baby, sometime.
that's a
great
fun
thing.
one.
Oh, you've seen this? So I haven't seen this. So this is probably gonna be one we're gonna review because I love
I mean,
rat.
it's not good, but I guess it could be fun depending on who you watch it with as well.
It's fun.
Oh boy.
We'll see. I've never seen it, so I'm gonna.
And I will say that spiders were most definitely harmed in the making of that movie.
You know, I love me some Shatner.
So was William Shatner. He was harmed too.
So yeah, last but not least, I got a package from Scarpad as well. I haven't opened it, but I did already rip the tape, so I didn't have to mess
This
it
has
up.
just become a reaction video. This is gonna go viral as fuck. Get ready, we're gonna be famous. We're gonna be Perry famous.
Perry, baby, come on and react to a video for me. Oh, me.
Right.
Some movie you haven't seen. I don't believe. It's all just kayfabe to me.
Mm-hmm.
Galactica 1980
Dude, is that on Atari? I love that game.
DVD, bruh. What is this? The original Battlestar Galactica's final season. I know. So this is sci-fi. Let's see, Star Trek: The Original Series, Season 2.
Fuck yeah,
Nice.
man.
Is this cool?
That's
stuff,
the
man.
best season right
That's
there,
the
bro.
best season. I was gonna say it too.
Really?
And those
Man,
are
I love
the
me
remastered
some
ones.
Shatner. So these,
Mhm.
I do love the original series too, man. They definitely have a really awesome feel.
We call it TOS, man. Don't sound like a noob. Come on.
What?
Oh, that's when
Man,
we get
I am a noob though.
we get sex idol fucking
Season
Scotty
3.
in season 3, bro.
Mm.
They quaff his hair up a little bit at the top, trying to make him like, yeah, it's good
Like,
stuff.
is that what Jet Mint's doing? Is that a quaff?
in season 1. So season
Nice.
1 to 3.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is great.
These are cool.
Scarpad, fuck, dude.
These are cool sets.
Dude, the second half of that's some of the best Trek out there, bro. Aside from season 2.
Or the Next Generation. Every
Well,
season.
I meant like, yeah, you
I know what you meant.
DS9. Come on, bro.
I still never finished DS9.
Good shit, man.
That's what I hear.
This is a Blu-ray. These characters I don't recognize. You know, it's Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh, yeah, that's like the
no.
prequel.
Is this newer?
Burn that right now, bro. Use it for warmth.
That's like
Well,
it's
that
supposed
why
to be like the
Star Trek-
beginning of the.
It's
the-
been a long road.
It's better than Star Trek Picard. That's what Dan
That
said.
shit's yeah,
What'd you
maybe.
say?
That shit sucks though, bro. It sucks. It's better than 3 from Hell.
Actually, season 4 was good, but
that is now like that's
And
the bar. It's better than 3 from Hell.
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh, dope.
This looks like a Burn series.
no,
Yeah,
no.
that's a bootleg right
No,
there, bro. He bought
I
that
just-
shit at a Comic-Con
I just reboxed it.
from a sketchy guy.
I was gonna say, is this like hard to get or something at first when I saw the bootleg picture? But
This was from that time when
No.
Scarpad
This-
found out that he could get
this sounded
a
good.
500 Blu-ray chain, a 500
No,
DVD
no,
changer,
not Burn.
and he was like, "I'm gonna put all of them on my DVD changer and get rid of all my discs."
So this I'm hell yeah, man. The Twilight Zone season 2,
Bro.
thick cover.
Once
Dude,
again,
audio
not a burn.
commentaries on the back.
by
I don't
far the
own it.
best season of Star Trek.
I don't own it at all because I've been hoping that maybe they'll do like a awesome Blu-ray version, especially now that Kino did the Night Gallery set. So I've been like praying that they'll do a Twilight Zone set like that. That'd be so sick. Twilight Zone season 3.
I have a feeling if you're following the trend, season 1 is coming.
No, complete 4th season.
Okay.
That looks like it's it.
Hour-long episodes.
But these suckers, man, look pretty fucking sick, man.
That's awesome.
The classic, and I don't own this.
Yeah, bruh. I got all of those.
I only got the Wolfman one that I got from my Jiddu.
Those are the
Like,
coolest,
we watched
man.
like as a kid, and I wouldn't even care if I owned these on Blu-ray already. I still would want these. I've always want.
Yeah, I just love those boxes so
That's
much,
what I'm
man.
saying, man.
Like, pull it out and look at it.
That's what she said.
Look at that. Isn't that cool, man?
Mhm.
They don't make shit like that anymore, man. That
No, these are epic.
that's like die cut fucking cover.
Yeah,
Or some shit, like whatever you want to call it. That shit's
like
awesome.
I said, man. Even if I own these movies on Blu-ray, which I own, I own the first couple movies, the Essential Collection on Blu-ray, I would still want these because these are fucking.
You can catch that full set, man, for like $50, $60 sometimes, man. Just keep out for it.
What, the Blu-ray set?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like 80, and that's too much. That's a good one, man. What the fuck?
Fuck yeah, dude.
I love how Dylan said $80 is too much for like 35 fucking movies on Blu-ray.
No, man, it's just when I'm hurting for money.
Dylan, I don't know if you know that, but that disc, that set, the Dracula set, has the Spanish version of Dracula. What happened? Yeah. Have you ever seen that, the Spanish version?
I know about it, but
they shot it at the same time as the original movie.
Yeah, but at night. It's shot at night. Yeah, that's sick. Man,
what's interesting, they said they'd come in and they'd watch what they shot before in English, and they would kind of one up it. It's interesting.
Certain aspects, technically, it is superior.
That's what I hear.
But overall, I don't think so.
Well, you don't speak Spanish. Or do you? You might.
This one, I don't know. If this one
I don't. How do you say these nuts in Spanish?
I don't know if this one got a little beat up during shipping. The man,
look at him complaining about the condition of Scarpad. You hear that?
So foxing around the edges.
I'll give this box a 9.4.
Yeah, but I think then
that's dope, Scarpad.
I think that deserves like a full-fledged round of applause. Scarpad.
With our pinkies up for Dylan because the point 2. A round of applause, point 2.
Man, the Legacy collection is complete, man.
Baller.
That's sick, man.
Well, he didn't send you the one with the little mini busts. So, yeah.
Actually, I think those came with I still got the bust somewhere.
He didn't send you the busts.
Damn, you got the bust and you ain't sent them?
If I find them, I'll send them to you, Dylan.
No, didn't you have to order the bust, or did they come with it?
No, they came with it. It came with like a little cemetery type fucking thing.
Oh, really? Man, I don't know how my I guess
understand by now that I have no more fucking room to put anything. That's why I'm making you. I know you're buying a house, so I'm singing to you. So you have no more fucking room for anything.
Yeah. Well, I do have more room than I did at my old spot, so that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, at least the stuff that you gave me, I didn't have, so that's a plus. So. Thank you so much, Scarphead. Appreciate that, man. Dude, these Star Trek ones are sick too, man.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Some Shatner magic right there, baby. Hell yeah. So yeah, next week, like I said, we'll be doing Stephen King's The Night Flyer, starring Miguel Ferreira, the late great man. I think he does a great job in that. It's gonna be a fun one. I can't wait.
Hell yeah, dude. I'm excited.
Robbie, you got anything popping you want to talk about? We also, before Robbie goes, I'm so sorry, me and Scarpad and maybe Vern or Robbie, depending on what time we do it, we're gonna probably do like a little quick stream for Nope. We'll do like a little non-spoiler then jump into spoilers towards the end. We'll give you guys a heads up. So
I have questions.
Look out for that.
I have questions. I need answers.
Yeah, look out for that Monday because
I don't want to be influenced by
I'm
Scarpants.
about to go see Nope right after this. So, Robbie, what do you got popping though, my brother?
We got Snap, Crackle, Pop, Pop, Boom. That's what we got going on, man. Rockin' Robbie Live tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Time. We got PCP Movie Night at 8 p.m. Central Time. Monday night, we're talking about Golden Child, movie I just watched. I'm going to let you guys in on something. It's not an action movie. I remember it being an action movie, but it's not. I also remember it being a good movie, and it's not. We're going to have a fun conversation Monday night. So, yeah, check out for those, man. And if you missed it, we had a great conversation with comic creator Dennis Camp this last Thursday on the channel. It was one of my favorite conversations we've had.
Excellent.
Definitely worth checking it out. So,
excellent chat.
Thank you very much.
That's funny because I've never seen The Golden Child. I know it's like one of my dad's favorite movies. He brings it up a lot. I think he used to call me The Golden Child. And then when I saw it on the list, I'm like, oh, it's an action movie. Interesting. I never knew that. It's not?
It's not, but it's okay. It's just what. And Perry, I'm glad you're laughing because Perry is going to be on the show with us. So Perry, I hope you enjoy it, bro. I just remember I haven't seen this movie since I was like single digits.
That's funny.
Okay, so I just remembered it being because I was like, here it is, breaking kayfabe. I was like, I was gonna do Beverly Hills Cop, and then I was like, no, we need to do all three of them because I really like part 3, so we'll do that in like maybe next year. Then I was like, we'll do 48 Hours. And I was like, no, we've already done Lethal Weapon.
Right.
And then I was like, well, Golden Child, that's an 80s Eddie Murphy action movie. It still qualifies as action. There's a little bit of martial arts, some flipping. There's an explosion, some guns, but it was a disappointment, bro. This week, bro, let me tell you something. It started strong with House of 1,000 Corpses, and every movie I watched this week just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
Oh,
I'm ready for something good. Then I was like, what are we doing next week? Night Flyer.
I haven't seen Night Flyer in like 20 years, but I liked it when I was in high school. So we'll see.
Well, let's see. Thank you, Zach.
We shall see.
I haven't seen Nope yet, and I do the show with Dynamite over at the Experience on Monday, so I do a double stream that night. So there's no way I could be on the Nope video. Plus, I haven't seen it yet, and I think I may try to watch it like maybe next weekend or something. I don't know, maybe Thursday night, something like that.
I'm gonna try and check it out tomorrow. I remember you were taking suggestions on Rockin' Robbie Live last year, Action Fest, for an action movie, and I was like, oh fuck, action movie. And I just went to my head, I'm like, Reservoir Dogs, and you're like, that's not an action movie. And then I'm like, oh yeah, all the action is implied. It's just like it's not. There's almost no action in it, but they talk about something that happened.
It's probably more of an action movie than fucking
Golden Child.
Golden Child, but I mean, we're gonna scratch. I mean, this is gonna be like worse than Funhouse last year. I feel this coming. Like me and Brooks and like Jelani, I don't think none of us have seen this movie since we were children. I mean, like literal children. Like, I think the last time I watched this movie, I was like 9 or 10. Like, wow, interesting.
Is it streaming anywhere? Because
it's on Paramount Plus. Yeah.
I'm tempted to check it out.
We got room if you want to join us, bro.
For what?
I might be busy with Nope. That sounds like more fun.
Yeah, you should do that because you're going to do True Lies with us the week after, right?
Yes, I will do True Lies. I will do True Lies. Definitely. Mark me down. Mark me.
There you go.
Nope does seem like a perfect Teen Dog Shades night.
Perry, have you watched it yet? I'm just curious. Anyway, go ahead. Golden Child, I'm talking about Nope. I'm really pumped to see Nope, man.
So I guess, so Nope will probably be here sometime Monday around 7 to do Nope.
Did you know they just announced Daredevil Born Again? Original series.
Yeah.
Oh, is there like, because the Marvel panel's going on. Let's wrap this shit up, Dylan. Come on. I got to get to the Marvel panel.
And other than that, I'll be unboxing, I think, Wave 15 of Migos this week and then previewing Wave 16. That's it for me.
Yeah.
We'll see them Monday night.
Sick. Hell yeah. So look out for a Monday night stream from us. Look out from Robbie doing a Monday night stream as well.
And a Sunday night stream. So.
And a Sunday night stream, yes, sir. And be sure to do your homework. If anyone needs help tracking down how to watch this, like Robbie said, YouTube or message me. Do your homework. Check this out. Let me know what y'all think. Can't wait to see y'all next Saturday. Y'all are the best. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We love y'all, man. Stay safe.
Holy Miss Moly! Ha ha!
Cutie fucking fruity.